Alright guys, welcome to my world. So, working on installing the Victron and the lithium batteries. And my original idea was to use this front storage. Seems perfect, right? You get all your batteries in here, have enough room for the Victron, a few other things maybe. A little tight, but not horrible. Let me show you what is going on. I have a bar in here. Give me a second. Not a bar like what you think, but this angle, perforated angle iron. Alright, so the back of this shelf is held up by some angle iron. The front of the shelf is held up by this generator enclosure. I'm going to put that down. You don't have to trust me if it didn't show up on camera. So, and then look at this board. It's already starting to warp. It's just not designed to hold any kind of weight. Not at all. Now I've had this ripped up. Oddly, I can't pull that out without taking out this back wall. And I didn't want to do that. I had enough information to figure out if I could reinforce this. So that metal box is the only thing that's holding it. I wasn't about to go through, and really the right way to do it is to weld in some new angle iron. I got hiccups, sorry. Would have also needed to run some support front to back, and my problem is that the Victron, I need a certain amount of space in there, and if I were to raise that up more than about another inch, it was just going to get to be a little tight. Alright, so what to do? I decided to completely write off the front storage area. You can see I've got some weight here in batteries. Excuse me while I drink some Arizona green tea. If there's one drink you can get addicted to, it's that. Goes down easy, it's not too sweet, and it pumps you up with caffeine like you wouldn't believe. Alright, well, I get my fat ass in here. Ugh. Whoa. My knees are getting way too old for this. My StarCraft didn't have crap for an under storage area to work in it. I had to flip up the bed, curl up in a ball, and hope I was going to be able to get out. I don't think I'd be able to work in the StarCraft these days. So you guys have seen me build these batteries as part of my lithium series. I will include this in my lithium series, but I'm trying to keep it short too for the regular viewing audience. So just kind of give you guys an idea of what I've done here so far. This is PVC. It's called what is it, like PVC board or something like that. I went ahead and mounted that to this other board, which is only about a quarter of an inch thick. I didn't want it, or it wasn't going to really hold up too well to the weight of everything, especially once I hang the Victron. I'll probably add in another piece and extend it out. Each lithium battery bank, 24 volts, 100 amp hour, right? Each one of these is going to get its own battery protect. Now this is another Victron device because apparently I pay them part of my paycheck every month. But what this does is 100 amp protection, 600 amp peak. So for a few seconds or more, it can peak at 600 amps. But steady state for long periods of time, 100 amps each. 100 amps of 24 volts. Each of these batteries have a 24 volt, I'm sorry, a 200 amp fuse on it. So in total, before I start blowing fuses, I can briefly pull up to 800 amps. So each of these needs to be programmed. Basically the way this works is you run your power through here, and then this goes to load. So I'll have another battery cable going from here to here. Well, this will probably be my hot, and this will probably be my ground. So each one of these will have another battery cable that goes from here over to here. Now temporarily I just have this 2-gauge battery cable hooked up. I'm going to use 1-odd cables going from the battery bank to the battery protect, from the battery protect to the bus bar. So those will be all 1-odd cables. And then I'll use 2-aught going from the bus bar to the Victron, so that I don't get any voltage drop there. So these guys need to be programmed. Basically you can define the low voltage cutoff. That's the other thing that the battery protect does. So I can take 27.4 down to 24 volts, and each one of these banks is going to give me a true 100 amp hours. It's a little bit over, it's like 104 amp hours. So that's phenomenal. We're going to be in really good shape. So I don't really have to worry about the top end, but what I can do is program these to shut off when the batteries get down to a certain point. And once it shuts off the battery, it's only going to be using like 0.8 milliamps. So essentially, if one of these batteries gets down to 24 volts, or I'm sorry, down to 21 volts, which is about the lowest you want to take a lithium battery, a 24 volt lithium battery bank. So once it gets down to 21 volts, and it's programmable, there's all these different settings in here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but so essentially the default's going to be program 0, which will shut off at 21, and it won't put power back until 24. It's gonna set itself up for the extremes to protect your lithium cells. It's simple. Batteries are connected to this. This is going to allow 100 amp hours through. If the batteries get below a set point, which I'm going to have default to 21 volts, it will cut power to the load, and then it will sit there and monitor the battery for recovery back to 24 volts. And once it gets to 24 volts, it will go ahead and reopen the circuit and allow this battery to go back. So I'm going to check all of these, make sure they're all at the same voltage as far as the low cutoff. And then the next step will be to start building the battery cables. All right, that's it. You guys will see me when I have a little bit more of this put together. Bye.